Welcome to this new video, which is on hands-on pipeline in Fabric. In the part one, we spoke about how we copy the data from Blob Storage to Fabric Lakehouse using access keys. In this second part, we will speak about the same thing, how we will copy the data from Blob to Fabric Lakehouse. However, this time we are going to take another approach, which is called service principal approach, which is more secure and recommended. So just a quick recap that in a data pipeline, we have a source and we have a destination. And what we do normally with the data, we ingest the data from the source, we do some transformation, and finally we load the data to our destination. And the process is called extract, transform, load, and the pipeline is known as ETL pipeline. We can make this process even simpler for this video. And what we did before, we just did the extraction and loading to our from Blob to our lakehouse. And we use the approach of the access keys, as I mentioned before. But we are taking another approach here, which is the service principal. And so what is the service principal why we should use it and how we can use it? So why, in order to answer the why, is first of all that it is a secured method, and that is why it is recommended. It does not give the root level secrets. And so we have the least privilege access. So for example, you can give access, write access or read access or whatever way you want to control. Service principal has an identity, so this makes it easy to do the identity-based auditing. Easy revocation, it is also possible to quickly delete the app registration and revoke the client secret. You can secure the secrets in Key Vault without changing code. You can always replace or rotate your secret. How do we do that? So unlike before, where we have a simple secret access key, we have to create here a service principal first. We also create the client secret within the service principal, and then we give rule-based access control to blob storage. For example, reading the blob storage to this created service principal app. And then we create a Fabric connection based on the information that we have obtained, and we will build copy pipeline in the end. And finally, these steps will take the data from blob and will copy it to the lakehouse. So without further ado, let's jump onto Fabric portal and see how do we achieve this. So we are in the workspace, and here we will create a new pipeline by pressing this button, which is new item. We'll search here for the pipeline. And it disappears. And let's give it a suitable name as well. And since we are extracting the data from blob storage, so give it blob copy PL2. PL2 is pipeline 2. We used PL1 for the previous video. And here we are going to do almost the same work, that is extracting the data from blob storage, but using another method. So we will select here the copy data as we did before. And now we have a general thing. General is just to assign the name. And here we say blob data copy. And then we have a source. And here in the connection, if you press browse all to create a new connection, the source is blob storage. So we'll search here for blob. As we do that, this shows up, and let's select it. We'll go to our storage, which is data doctor storage. This is the unique name. We have to paste it on the first box, which is asking for account name or URL. Then connection credential, and we have to create new connection here. We have to assign a suitable name as well, and we call it blob service principal, as we are going to use the method of service principal. And here you will see that we have to select this, which is here service principal. And now when we do that, now it is asking for us for quite a few things, which is tenant ID, service principal client ID, and service principal key. How do we get that? For that, we have to go to our Azure portal. We'll go to Microsoft EntraID. In the Manage tab, and you will see here app registration. We have to create a new app in order to create this service principal connection. So we register an application. We'll give a suitable name first. Let's call it Blob Access App. the name should be meaningful because we will need it, and this is good. This should be a recognizable name. And here we go to Blob Access app, and we see several things related to this app. Here we have certification and secrets. Let's click this. And here we see we don't have any client secret yet, but we can create a new client secret. Now we create a new client secret by pressing this plus button. And you can provide some description as well. Let's call it blob access. And this will create a secret ID. You have to copy this secret ID and value, not the secret ID, but the value will be important. So let's copy this. And here you see that we had tenant ID, service principal client ID, and service principal key. And we are going to paste this value into service principal key. And as we go back to this app, we also see that we have application client ID on the second line. We'll copy this one, and this will come here in the service principal client ID. So we paste it there. And then we see we have the directory tenant ID. We'll copy that as well. And we're going to paste it here in this tenant ID. We'll connect. And we see invalid credential. So there is something wrong. And let's try to find out what is wrong. So we have to go to access control. What we have done is that we have created the service principal, but we did not assign any role to the service principal. So let's assign the appropriate role. And what is that? That this service principal should be able to read the data from blob. And if we search it for blob, we see many things, and you see that there is one permission, which is storage blob reader, which should be enough. And then as a next step, we will have to see that who we have to assign this one. So storage blob data reader, this is fine, but assign access to user groups or service principal. And here we have the service principal, and now this name is going to be important. Yeah, we gave it a good name, blob access app, so we know it, and that's it. We will select that one. This should be sufficient, and now we proceed with assigning and review plus assign. And now adding role assignment, this is happening. And now we try to connect again. Now as we connect it, we see that the connection is successful. That's great. And now we try to browse this. And then we are able to see the folder within our blob storage. And we see already 3 files present there. So we'll select the destination now. And destination has to be our lakehouse. So here we will select blob data lakehouse. This is the existing lakehouse. And so we will select files here. And as we browse, we already see in this lakehouse there are 3 files present, which we actually copied for our previous video in which we used the access keys method. So let's try to create a new folder here in order to distinguish these two different approaches of copying the data. So here we will create a new folder, and let's name it appropriately, which is, let's say, service principal data. So yeah. So that's it. We can save it. And let's see if we get any error. Not the case, saving completed. Fine. And we started right away. Now the pipeline is running. And we started to see the details of this pipeline. Takes a while. And the run has succeeded. And now we are in the blob data lakehouse. We refresh it. As we do it, we see another folder within the files. And this is showing 3 files have been copied. That's great. The operation was a success. With that, we end our video, and thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video very soon.